All right. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Sat Today. How are you? Let's see what is going on for the week. This is a reading I do every week. All these readings are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I will pull cards at the end of all 12 zodiac signs for everybody watching. Okay. So I'm going to start with Pisces. It is Pisces season. Happy birthday to you guys. And then I will go all the way around to Aquarius. All right, so just do short readings for each of the zodiac signs. I'm in the middle of posting the March readings, so you may or may not see all of them by the beginning of the week, but that is my plan. Okay, so, all right, so here we go. Let's start with Pisces. What's going on with you? How appropriate. Water sign energy coming through for Pisces. What don't you see coming, Pisces? What's important for you to know? Ace of Swords. Something about a truth trying to come through. Seven of Pentacles. Let's see what else wants to come through here. Okay. All right. Let's see if I don't have enough here. Okay. So Seven of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Seven of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the outcome is the Eight of Swords. So there's some serious resistance here to a truth, Pisces. And I realize this is going to take some courage from you to learn that or to let this in. And it can have to do with something that's going to require courage. You may have been going in a certain direction for quite a long time, and this new direction is going to be, new. It's not going to be like you won't have any kind of experience doing it. You might feel like a newbie. That might not feel okay. Hi, Maze. That might not feel okay. And so the Eight of Swords and the outcome is kind of like, Eight of Swords can be about like your belief system or your feeling that you don't know enough. And so you keep stopping yourself and you keep stopping yourself and you keep stopping yourself from going further. Okay, everybody gets a chew. There we go. You're stopping yourself. This Seven of Wands. You may feel like you're protecting yourself, like there's a lot of people or things coming at you, and you're kind of like, no. I feel like it's the strong thing is just to stay here. But I'm going to say to you that this Page of Wands makes me feel like what will shift this is a little bit of inspiration. So let's try to ground this in an actual scenario. So let's say you've been with a person for 5 or 6 years, and this is a relationship that is not maybe not quite where you want it to be. But there's also something about this that you are resisting. Like, I don't want to go to this next level of commitment because then I'll have to do stuff too. So it's kind of like you're not pushing it, they're not pushing it. And what happens is you're kind of standing still. So this truth that's coming through is basically saying, like, is somebody resisting you, or are you resisting? Are you just like not doing what you need to do, kind of a thing? Now, the Page of Wands says to me that the thing that's going to shake this up or shake this loose for you is an inspiration coming through. And it could be a creative inspiration. It could be like an aha moment, okay? Queen of Pentacles, the Moon, the Eight of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so let me see if I can share this or illuminate this for you a little bit. We do have a full moon eclipse coming in your opposite sign of Virgo, and that's going to be happening on March 3rd. It is opposing you because obviously the sun is in Pisces right now. The moon will be in Virgo, and it's in eclipse. And eclipse means, the effect of an eclipse is a very swift, quick shift in something, especially a letting go. Like something is quickly leaving. And the Eight of Wands makes me feel like something is quickly leaving. And it can be that you have in your head, you have this, and you have made some kind of investment. I've stayed at this company for a long time. That means there's something here, that I've created something real. I feel like what you're going to realize is you haven't created anything real. You've just spent time. Okay? So in other words, you haven't created any kind of equity like you do in a house when you pay down the mortgage. You know, there's equity in the house. You have money that's available to you if you wanted to upgrade the house or something like that. But staying where you are hasn't created any equity. And that might be a surprise to you, that you thought by being here, by being loyal to this situation, you would have created some kind of equity. Not true. Okay? That's going to be the, oh, wow. So if that were true, if you were to realize that you really haven't got any loyalty coming back to you the other way, whether it's a partner or it's a job situation or whatever, you're not getting the loyalty back from the other person or the other entity. You're not getting that back. You haven't created anything. So that means that when there's an opportunity to sort of move on from this, I suggest you consider it. Because if you don't, and you think you're staying here out of loyalty or something like that, that it's going to be repaid to you, it's not going to be repaid to you. So if you get an opportunity, I would suggest you take it. And it makes me feel a little bit like, it's like you don't know how not good something is until something better comes along, right? You could be in a relationship for a really long period of time, and it's a little bit like the frog in boiling water, where you're just like, well, it's not great, but it's not bad either. It's better than nothing, you're telling yourself. And then there's a shift and you do have something better and you're like, wow, why did I waste so much time? That's what I'm trying to tell you. I feel like Spirit is saying you're kind of wasting your loyalty on a situation. So I would maybe consider the new opportunity when it shows up. All right, that's for Pisces. A little gift there from the universe. I would suggest you give that a try. Okay, so that's for Pisces. Let's move on to Aries. Okay, the grounded card. Okay, excellent. Let's see. All right, grounded. For Aries, you know, you have Saturn in your sign right now, Saturn and Neptune pretty closely conjunct still. Saturn's going to be there for 2.5 years. Neptune's going to be there for 14 years. So that's quite a long time. And what's underneath is the Six of Cups, High Priestess, Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, the Chariot. Look at this. The Chariot and the Ten of Cups is the outcome. Wow, I like this. Okay, so something that you have wanted from childhood or something that you have dreamed of is about to show up. And I feel like Spirit is saying, just like, relax, it's okay. Let this good thing come into your life. This is a brand new thing. Some of you have worked quite hard on it. You're showing up as the High Priestess, which is very highly attuned intuition. You might have worked on that. You might have come to a very You might have come to a very powerful place with your intuition. Here's the Fool. There's a new opportunity coming in. Chariot and Ten of Cups. So whatever you have worked for is going to show up. I don't know if it's a relationship or if it's a work thing, like a business partner or something like that. What is this new thing that's coming in for you? Queen of Swords, Five of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Pentacles. All right, I like this. This really says to me that you are now very savvy. All of your past experiences that you have learned from them. but not just learned from them. You have embodied the wisdom of them. Okay, so the intuition, and then the Eight of Pentacles is like, I've put the effort and time in to incorporating all of my lessons into my repertoire. So I'm on this new path, and this is going to go quite quickly, just so you know. But this is a fated, destined opportunity that's coming in. May require that you, how shall I say this? Kind of step over bodies to get what you want. Okay. And Aries, listen, that might be second nature to you. That might not be second nature to you, but it's sort of like you're seeing what you want and you're going for it. There might be people around you who are not getting what they want. That doesn't mean you should stop and not go forward. Okay. It doesn't mean you need to sit and sort of hold their hand while they're not getting what they want. Your job is to be the one who leans into this next chapter with this Queen of Pentacles and this Ten of Cups. I do feel like there might be somebody, you might have this twinge of empathy for another person who's not getting what they want at the same time as you are winning. They are not winning. And so it doesn't mean you have to be a sore winner or a lousy winner. What it does mean is you need to know the distinction between sort of giving up your dreams because someone else is not winning. And that's kind of like Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, where we have been, where empathy and compassion were about victim stories, and we sit and we kind of marinate in the victim stories. But now that Saturn and Neptune have moved into your territory, it's sort of like, well, I can still have compassion for you, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to, ask the universe for what I want and receive it well when I get it. Okay? It doesn't mean it's also kind of like, it's a little bit zero tolerance for a lot of Eeyoring around you, people being like, oh, the world's unfair, the world's unfair, the world's unfair. And so I'm just going to make everybody else feel miserable when they have something good happen to them. And you're not to play that game. Okay. You're definitely not to play that game, because something really great is trying to come in. Okay. And if you stop going toward that person or that job or whatever it is because somebody else is having a bad time, it doesn't mean you completely blow off having empathy. What it does mean is you don't undermine your own direction in life because of it. Okay, so that's a distinction that is important. That's the energy we're moving into. That we're kind of no longer tolerating a lot of sort of ruminating on victim stories. We're just not really going to be okay with it. We're like, okay, what are you going to do about it? Okay, that's the response. Like, someone has a bad day or someone has a bad time of it. You're like, all right, well, I'm in your corner. Like, what are you going to do about it? I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm going to be supportive of you. Okay, just the same. But don't stop going for what you want to. All right, that's for Aries. What about for Taurus? Woo, transformation, Taurus. Okay, what is changing for you? What is happening for my Taurians? What is up with this? All right, let's see what's going on for Taurus. I haven't used this deck in a couple of days, so let's see what it says. Okay. Underneath is the Three of Swords, Hanged Man, the Star. Wow, Aquarian energy. Opportunity is the Queen of Swords. Three of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. All right, I like this. This has to do with, again, kind of similar to what I just said to Aries, that you are having, coming out of some kind of um, block or some kind of chapter in your life that was absolutely stuck. Okay, we had Uranus moving forward in your sign of Taurus. That happened a little bit ago, and it's now inching ever so closely toward Gemini. So Uranus going forward is about reinvention. It is innovation. It is all of those things, and moving toward a healing, seeing clearly what has been happening, reframing what's been happening. Okay, so you might be leaving a relationship, and it's time for you to reframe that. It's time for you to stop living in any kind of victim story. Instead, see the goodness that's ahead of you. You're about to find some new opportunities, Aquarius or Libra or Scorpio people, some new opportunities. 3 of Pentacles, new friends, new connections, new job opportunities, new love interests, all this kind of stuff. What have you been manifesting, Taurus? 9 of Cups is here. The wish is granted. The 3 of Swords says to me that you've just come out of a maybe very challenging chapter. All right, but seeing clearly now is the key. I feel like the same for Aries a little bit. 9 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and the Page of Swords. It's time to fight your own battles. Okay, it's time to fight your own battles. I get the feeling that you have been shying away from, sort of getting in there. Okay. If you want to start your own business, start your own business. Like, you're going to need to get out there and tell people that you're doing it. If you're, getting out of a relationship, it's time for like a new look with your clothes. It's time to do something new. It's time to release that old, version of yourself. We have an eclipse in Virgo happening on March 3rd. Jupiter is moving forward in Cancer. Virgo is your fellow Earth sign. And, Cancer is a nice sextile to you. Yeah, Cancer is a nice sextile to you when Jupiter is moving direct. So I feel like this in March. So I feel like this is a good month for you to shed your old identity and really be very clear about who you are becoming. Who are you now? Okay? Who are you now after this difficult chapter that you've been through? And this is time to become like a brand new version of yourself. And it may be someone that you've always wanted to become. It's like this is an aspirational version of you. Change those clothes, change that makeup, change that hairstyle, whatever you want to do. Change that partner, change that friend group, maybe make a move. Like, this is the time to completely shed the old you. All right, Taurus, that is for you. So, Gemini, what about for you, my darlings? Oh, check it out. New life. I guess a lot of you are going to be shedding some old lives here. New life coming in for my Geminis. All these readings are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. At the end, I will pull cards for everybody watching. So this is for Gemini. New life. New life, please. Underneath is the World. Wow. 10 of Cups. I love this. Look at, there's your card. Lover's card. 3 of Wands. Ace of Wands. Empress. Perfect. Okay. So this is definitely the close of a chapter. You can look to this full moon eclipse that's coming up on the 3rd of March as the final purge. Okay. The final purge of the energetic aura that you have been living in for quite a long time. The 10 of Cups says that there's a vision. You might have a vision of what you want to create. That's not real yet. Okay. But now you're about to make some new choices and receive some new opportunities. This is very receptive energy, but it doesn't mean that you're just kind of like, I'll take whatever I can get. This is really about you kind of like waving a magic wand, the Ace of Wands. You waving a magic wand I mean, Magician is another one of your cards. It's ruled by Mercury, just like you are, ruled by Mercury. And the Magician is about manifesting very intentionally. So you see in the World card here, she's got 2 arrows in her hands. I don't know if you can see that. She's got 2 arrows in her hands, just like in Sagittarius, your opposite sign. And so this is about like taking aim and shooting for what you want. So very aspirational kind of energy here. Ace of Wands is the magic wand of what's the life you're wanting to create, because it's not here yet. It's like you've got to tell the universe what it is. All right, you got to tell the universe. There's Justice, Libra, 9 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, and the 4 of Pentacles. So there's a sense here of maybe the ending of this past chapter did not go the way you wanted. It's time to set up the new life so that it will go the way you want. So whatever it was that you kind of allowed to happen, or didn't, wasn't, you didn't put in an order for something, and you got a 3 of Swords and a 4 of Pentacles. This is about protection. I do feel like there's a sense of some of you still smarting, or still kind of like hurting from a previous chapter, or still kind of like needing to do a lot of healing work. That's fine. Because right now you're just in the phase of like aspirationally sort of dreaming up, right? In the dream state, in the ideation phase of this new life. And I feel like the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles are here to say to you, like, how will you protect yourself from what went down before? How are you going to change that narrative? There's a narrative that you still have, likely a story you're still telling yourself that might require your attention. So look back into the chapter that's closing, and what are the stories you were telling yourself about this chapter that ended up hurting you? Okay, it's not about like looking at the things I did right, although you want to not forget those. You want to look at the things that you're like not happy about, and you're going to want to change them. You're going to want to change the story you were telling yourself about what you deserved or what you were allowed. You're going to want to tell yourself or change the story about, whether it's money or love or whatever it is. You were telling yourself a story that really isn't true. And, that did harm you, because it brought in something that didn't feel too good in the end. So it's time to change that narrative, Gemini. And you, of all people, you are the communicator. So you can make that choice, right? You can make that choice yourself. You can write the script of this next chapter, write the whole book. All right, there you go. So that's for Gemini. New life, baby. Okay, let's see. Gemini, moving on to Cancer. Let's see what's going on for you guys. All right, Cancerians. What am I getting for you? What's this? Veiled. Okay. Something behind the scenes, Cancer. What is going on here? Something going on behind the scenes. We have Jupiter going direct in your sign this month. All right, that's kind of nice. And all right, let's see. It is sextile. No. Yes, it is sextiling the eclipse in Virgo. It is trining you are trining the energy of this, the sun in Pisces. We have the North Node in Pisces. So lots of things are at your disposal, or at your fingertips. I'm hearing fingertips. Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands, 7 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, King of Wands, oh my word, and the Fool. You are dealing with a fire sign. I feel like you or they have like a secret desire for this person, a secret desire to want to connect with this person, but you're not doing it. I feel like you want to lean into connecting with this person, but you're not doing it. The desire, the passion, the love, all of that kind of stuff is like, you know, you should be good at talking about this. You're a water sign, but I feel like you're not. I feel like you don't know what to say. You don't know what to say to this person. And so maybe you kind of come toward this person for a different reason, like, ask them some, job advice, or talk to them about their business or something like that. You feel like this is what Cancer does, like very much to the side, right? Because a crab walks to the side. So you might be used to doing this, being not very direct about what it is that you want with this person or from this person. And I feel like, because this is Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, they really do appreciate a more direct approach. Okay. So if you have had problems in the past by being like too shy, a little bit too shy here, a little bit, secretive, or maybe you're watching them somehow, you're watching their social media feed, but you're afraid to like reach out to them. What is Spirit saying here? What is the advice? What is the advice? Page of Swords. Maybe you want to text them instead of being in person. Page of Swords, the Strength card, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. This person will expect you to put in time, okay? But they will put in time. This person is somebody who, this could be very passionate. The King and Queen of Wands is very passionate. This could be your right person because of the Ten of Pentacles here. And would it help for you to know that this is going to be a relationship worth kind of overcoming your fear of being more direct for? Would that help you to know that this person would appreciate a direct approach more? And if you have to, you could reach out through text if that's a little less terrifying. Okay? You could reach out to them via text. And I feel like they'd be very receptive. The Fool, it's like a new chapter. And it's almost like, think about, when we were kids or when we were teenagers. I know I did a whole lot of things that now I look back and I'm like, wow, what did I do? How did I know to be so courageous at that point? I was just foolhardy kid, just a dumb kid, right? So this is almost like you know too much. It's like you know too much, right? Tower, Six of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Three of Swords. Okay, so you're envisioning like the worst. There is some communication that does require you to be in their presence. It can't all be on text. All right, please don't do that to this person. But you're envisioning like the worst of the worst. And so I guess what Spirit is saying to you here is like, it's time to reach out to them via text and just be kind of like a little bit be as much of yourself as you can be. Like, hey, I saw that you were doing this. That's really cool. Are you free to come and talk about it? Or do you want to go for a coffee? Or hey, I noticed that, you did this the other night. That sounds fun. Was that a great time? Like, try to engage with what they want. Don't get so mired in your own fear that like, you're like, I don't know what to say. Well, say something that they're interested in because they'll want to talk about it. And then they'll sop up they're a fire sign. What are you talking about? They're going to sop up all the conversation. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Okay. Don't be scared. That's the short part of the version of that reading. All right. Leo, what's going on for Leo? Key, got the talisman here. All right. I'm going to use this. What's the key here for Leo right now, please? I've been seeing your card a lot, Leo. The Strength card has been showing up in a lot of these readings, and a lot the Cancer Capricorn reading too. I think both of them had that. So if you're dealing with Cancer and Capricorn, they might be more courageous. They might be coming toward you. But let's see what Leo is dealing with right now. What does Leo need to know right now? Underneath is the Justice card. Tower. What in the world? Tower, 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. All right, hold on. So we got 3 8s here, and 8s are about industry. 8s are about how you move things forward. 8 of Swords is about how you believe, your belief systems. There's something here about maybe believing that you put in a lot of time and energy, you should get a certain amount of return. Like what's fair. And I feel like because there's a tower here, like your sense of what's fair, this is justice, your sense of what's fair is being upended a little bit. All right, so there's the Hierophant, 10 of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the 9 of Wands. So I feel like Spirit is saying, like, you're right. This is not fair. What's happening is not fair. If you want to hear somebody saying that, I will say it to you. What's happening is not fair. And this is something for you to remember. This is, whatever's going on right now, you should, in the future, whatever is unfair, you should be working on ways to balance that out. So I'm just going to give you a concrete example here, okay? So let's say you work for a company for 10 years and you think you've built up some equity in the company, some loyalty. They have layoffs and you get cut along with people who have only there 2 months, right? Like there's no loyalty. And so that's not fair. So what you're supposed to take away from this lesson is that the thing may be unfair, but you're needing to say, okay, well, if that's true, if there is no loyalty in corporate America, which I firmly believe that's true, if there's no loyalty to employees and everything like that, then what are you going to do about that? I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to be a contractor. I'm going to, I'm going to write contracts for jobs. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. I'm going to do it differently than what I did before because I wasted a lot of time and effort being kind and generous. I wasted a lot of time and effort on a person who took advantage of my kindness. I'm going to change my belief system and I'm going to update it based on this new experience. You're right. It's not fair. And so I'm going to try and mitigate that. So let's say I had a relationship with somebody and I spent a lot of time. I'm getting a lot of time here because this 8 of Pentacles. I put a lot of time and effort into this relationship, and maybe I didn't realize that this person wasn't taking it seriously. And they ended up breaking it off with me, and I was devastated. And they're like, I didn't really think we were, exclusive. I didn't really, think that this was a thing for you. I didn't really want to move forward with this. And I don't know why you would, because, it didn't seem like it was a good fit. Oh, well, I just, I thought we were going somewhere. And they're like, no. So what would you do in that instance? I would be asking more questions. I would be paying more attention to the other person instead of just putting in time and effort in building something. Make sure you have something to build. Okay? Make sure that there's something there, because this 8 of Swords is very sort of like blind, like not wanting to really see. I'm kind of blind about this. And a lot of belief systems are kind of blind. Like, it's just based on faith that I'm going to give you my life energy and you're going to pay me a paycheck 2 weeks from now. And maybe that doesn't happen, right? You put in effort and they don't there's no reciprocity there. So I am no longer going to give a lot of my life force energy to people who don't reciprocate. I'm going to match your energy. Okay? Don't try to, put more effort and time into something than somebody else is willing to do. And it's really, I don't know if it's easier, but it definitely, it's going to help you not get into situations where you drain yourself. And if you don't want to pay attention to the person's kind of indifference, then it could happen again. So I feel like that's what Spirit is saying. Like, pay attention to what people are doing, how they're meeting you, what they're willing to offer you, and don't be blind to it. Don't stick your head in the sand about it. Okay. Excellent. All right, that's for Leo. Virgo, my friends. The guides are trying to speak with you. Guides are trying to break through. Virgo. All these readings are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What doesn't Virgo see coming? The guides are trying to say it to you. Hey, they're trying to get your attention. They can't, you have to meet them halfway. You can't just expect because if there's something coming at you and I'm saying, hey, the guides are trying to get your attention, then this is it. This is your little woohoo. We're trying to get your attention here. Yep. Page of Swords. There's the message trying to come through. 9 of Cups. Devil energy. Ace of Swords. The Death card. Oh, just a light reading here. Oh my God. The 10 of Swords. Okay. I feel like the guides are trying to warn you about a person. About a person or about something or someone that you want. They're trying to say, they're trying to give you a truth that you don't want to know. A little bit like Leo, what I just was saying to Leo, that this could be getting back with an ex. Okay. That like you're kind of disregarding what that experience was like before. And you're like, oh no, it'll be different this time. Okay. I feel like you're walking into a lion's den here because look at you. You're like innocent as a newborn kitten. Look at that. 9 of Cups. And the situation is a toxic one with this Devil card here. The situation is a toxic one. And Spirit is saying, yep, hey, woohoo, Ace of Swords here. So this is, wow, the Death card and the 10 of Swords. And you're wanting this. Why are you wanting this? I see Capricorn and Scorpio. The World, 6 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, that is super loud and clear. Walk away from a situation that has gone from stable to stagnant. Okay? Something has gone from stable to stagnant. Maybe the stability is what you liked about this situation, but it's about to come to an end. And I mean an end like a brick wall. Okay? Like this is not delicate. The Death card and the 10 of Swords, there's betrayal here. Okay? There is betrayal here. And the guides are trying to get your attention to say, hey, it's time to move on into a new situation that's going to be more reciprocal. What you have right now is an extraordinarily draining and not fair situation. I don't know, however you want to define that for yourself. But we have a full moon in your sign happening on March 3rd. And eclipses, it's an eclipse, and eclipses have a way of hastening ends. And there's nothing more, the Death card and the 10 of Swords is like brick wall. So your advice here is to move in a new direction. I don't think you see this. I don't think you see this coming, Virgo. A little advice here. Tower. Okay. Like big Queen of Cups, Eight of Cups, Page of Cups, Knight of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to tell you just a little story here that I was dating someone in high school who their best friend really didn't like me. And there was a couple of things that happened, and this best friend convinced my boyfriend, who, as it turns out, could be convinced to break up with me in a very public way. Very humiliating kind of experience. This is what I'm talking about here. This is Tower, Death, the Devil card, 10 of Swords. Okay, you know what this is. And I'm seeing you as this 9 of Cups, that you're like, okay, I'm kind of not, I feel very comfortable, and that's exactly what happened to me, was that I did not see it coming, and it was very, very devastating. So I'm just saying this reading is trying to get you to just like open your eyes a little bit, and maybe not let other people lead you down a primrose path here, because it could be a little bit devastating. You might want to ask a few questions. You might want to find out what's going on with your work situation, find out what's going on with your relationship, like get in the know. That's what the guides are trying to tell you. Okay. Wow. Virgo. Okay. Libra. Healer. Let's see what's happening here for my Libra folk. I know the doggy's sleepy. All right. What's going on? What's going on for Libra? Underneath is the 8 of Wands. You're showing up as the Lover's card. That's Gemini energy. Woo, 5 of Swords. Page of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. 8 of Swords. So Libra, a little bit, I'm seeing this as it's becoming a theme a little bit here. There's definitely some learned, I don't know, like you might be one of the people who sees treachery around every corner. So if you are in a situation right now with a partner or somebody, and you're getting a lot of like spidey senses tingling about it, that this might not be that good of a thing, or this might not be the right thing for me, you're definitely on the right track here. Come here. I'm getting the Judgment card, which is a crossroads. Judgment, King of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, and the Emperor. That's something different. That feels like your work direction may open up for you, but this love connection or this relationship thing, I get the feeling that you have a friend. It doesn't have to be a love partner. It can be like a best friend or a colleague or somebody that you're close to, though. Somebody that you're close to is not really being honest with you. This 5 of Swords, and you're not completely unaware of it, okay? The Page of Pentacles says, I've kind of learned that this might be the case. And so I think you're ready for it. The 5 of Wands says, I'm ready to, sort of hash this out, but it doesn't feel like the other person is really talking or really saying anything. Okay. So there's just a sense of like, I feel like something's going on, but no one's being honest about it. No one's talking about it. And so there's just a feeling of kind of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. The 8 of Swords. What's the advice here for Libra? 4 of Wands, 6 of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the 8 of Cups. I I feel like the connection that you're thinking of, I do feel like that person might be like dropping out of your life in some way, like not playing the same role that you think they will. So this could be, someone you meet and you maybe date them once or twice or whatever. And as it turns out, it's like, well, this is not really a love partner. This is somebody who might be a friend or somebody I might do business with or something like that. But whatever it started out to be, it's not going to be. Okay? Libra, it's going to be something different. It could be a business partner or it could go in a different direction. But don't close your mind off to it. Don't just, I feel like you're very well capable of seeing things as they are, even though that 8 of Swords is in the outcome. I get the feeling that you just, you're kind of like, yeah, I've learned this lesson. I don't want to go down that road again. I do not want to go down that road again. So I'm just going to pull back from this. I feel like this is an energy of pulling back and just going in a different direction. I'm not going to pursue this relationship. I'm not going to pursue this direction. I've had enough of it. And the reason I'm saying that is, look at this. So the Lover's looking right at that 5 of Swords. Like, hey, listen, if I go through with this, I'm going to get like a sharp stick in the eye. So, it's tempting, but I don't think I'm going to go forward with it. So Libra, you might just reconsider whatever direction you had chosen, because I just feel like you've learned a lot and you do have good intuition. So trust it, please. Okay. All right. That's for Libra. What about for Scorpio? Divinity. Let's see what that's about. So usually when that card comes up, it has to do with your connection. Is your connection strong? Are you taking good care of how you're connecting with spirit, or is it more haphazard? Is it just kind of like whenever I need something? And I feel like I've heard that from a few people this week about like, well, I only pray when I need something. I'm just like, don't do that. You need to say thank you once in a while, okay? So Scorpio, 9 of Pentacles underneath, 5 of Wands. You're coming up as a 5 of Wands. Magician, 6 of Cups. Ooh, I like this. 9 of Swords, and the outcome is the universe. This is kind of like, feel the fear and do it anyway. Scorpio, I feel like you're getting some new options, new opportunities, and okay, it's kind of funny because this feels like you're very connected to spirit guide right there with that divinity card. And whatever you're choosing, whatever direction you're choosing is very easy. It's easy and fun and lighthearted. And you as Scorpio is like, wait a second, this isn't supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be awful. It's supposed to be grueling. But you have really plugged in. You are very aligned. And so I think you're kind of not trusting yourself. If the knock on Scorpio's got trust issues, right? Like when you hear people talking about the signs and they're very, that's very broad brush. Like each one of us is made up of a lot of stuff. But I hear that a lot about Scorpio, that there's trust issues with Scorpio. And whether there is or there isn't, there's something here about like, you're really overthinking something that is fun and easy. Something is easy in your life, or the thing that's going to come in now, this next thing, this next person is going to be easy. And I feel like Spirit is saying, you're going to need to trust some things. All right. You're going to need to be able to trust that, that you have good instincts, because you do. All right. So give yourself a break. Okay. So that's for my Scorpios. Let's talk to Sag. I've got, let's see, Sag, Capricorn, and Aquarius to go. All right. Saggies. Ow, check you out. Soulmate coming up. What is happening with my Saggies? Soulmate card showing up for you. Deep breath, everybody. All right, deep breath. Oh, there's... I know. Okay. All right. Sagittarius, 3 of Wands underneath. Y'all have gotten this 8 of Pentacles a lot, like very diligent, doing a lot of hard work. 8 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, the Fool, 9 of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. Do not stop. What is that? Don't stop your enemy when they're making mistakes. This is like, you don't have to work so hard. Don't stop. Don't trip yourself up by thinking, I think a little bit like what I just said to Scorpio is true of you, that things don't have to be hard all the time. And this next level of your abundance is going to come in quite easily. All right. It's the Page of Swords and the Fool. There's a new opportunity coming in, and it's sort of like you just have to allow it. Don't fight it. You don't have to make it more difficult. This 9 of Wands, yes, you have been around the block, and that might be part of like your charm. Is it like you know what you're talking about, or you're somebody who's very astute or whatever? That's great, but like don't get in the way of your own success. Okay, don't do things that you've got quite a lot of momentum here. And so you're going to need to learn to trust that there's a lot of momentum. Look at your outcome as King of Pentacles. You're doing fine. All right. You're doing fine, Sag. You're doing fine. Why this 9 of Wands? I just feel like there's a lot of wisdom here that's happened. The Hierophant, the 6 of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Justice card. Okay. So I feel like Sag, you might have been through some challenges, and, you're kind of remembering how hard it was at one point, and, I don't want to go through that again, or it's not going to take the same heavy lift to get to this next level. The heavy lift and the momentum have already sort of taken place. And, once an object in motion stays in motion. Now, what it has to do with your soulmate, hold on one second. Now, what it has to do, because this feels like whatever you're putting time and energy into is going to keep growing. The soulmate, the 5 of Swords. Oh, there's Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, and the Lover's card. I almost feel like Spirit is saying to you, like, okay, just keep going. Just keep going. Your soulmate is going to catch up. Look at this. They are having some difficulties right now. They could be an earth sign, could be a Gemini, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. They could be going through an ending of their own. And you don't have to stand and wait around. You don't have to stand around and wait for this person. Just keep moving. All right. Just keep moving. Keep doing what you're doing. There's no need. I do feel like you're moving on onto a different path. It doesn't mean that soulmate won't find you. Okay. So don't worry about it. Okay. Just keep moving forward, Sag. Keep moving forward. Okay. So, Capricorn. Oops, sorry. This is a moving table. Capricorn. Ooh, check you out. Good fortune. Good fortune. What is happening for my Capricorn? Sleepy dogs. Sleepy dogs. All right. Capricorn, please. Okay. 3 of Cups underneath. Look at you. 10 of Cups. King of Cups. High Priestess. The 6 of Cups, and the outcome is the 7 of Cups. So a lot of feelings here. We do have the sun is in Pisces. We've got Jupiter in Cancer. So there's a lot of water energy sort of floating around here. This does feel a little bit like a dream, that you're asking for a dream. You're asking for the right person. You're asking for the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles. You're asking for, every single thing you've ever wanted in your life. But I get the feeling that you kind of stop yourself from that with that 7 of Cups, that you're like, oh, I'm asking for too much. Or, it isn't going to happen. And I really feel like you need to stop doing that. Okay. I feel like you need to stop kind of tearing yourself down a little bit, or saying like good things can't happen because I'm manifesting them. And then you kind of just like stop. You should know that there is a beautiful soul here, this King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You are connected spiritually. What does that have to do with good fortune? It's almost like the reverse of the Sag reading. The Sag reading looked a lot like money and work to me, but then that soulmate card came out. This is about good fortune. This person could be, there's King and Queen of Cups. Wow. Ace of Cups, the Three of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. This person is coming toward you. This person is coming toward you, but they have just ended another thing. I almost feel like Sagittarius and Capricorn readings could be connected. That this person is coming toward you. They have had some kind of difficult ending, and you're just needing to keep moving. If you're the one that's had a difficult ending and you're wanting a good partnership, despite the fact that you had some rough go-rounds here, just know that partner is on your path, no matter how long it takes you to do the healing work. Okay? So some of you are rushing a little bit to try and get toward the thing you want to go toward, but you're needing to do some healing work. And the good fortune is that partner. Okay? I almost feel like some of you are connecting with a Sag or a water sign. Okay, Capricorn. So do the healing, do as much healing as you need, and just know that this person is on your path. So you should expect it. Capricorn. Wow. All right. Now, Aquarius. All right. Well, boundaries. Boundaries for Aquarius. All right. What's going on for Aquarius? I mean, it's time to learn about boundaries. If you haven't done a good job with your boundaries, this might be a time to start asserting them. Okay. The Sun underneath. 7 of Pentacles is you. Knight of Cups. Queen of Swords. 4 of Pentacles, and the outcome is the Ace of Wands. So, new inspiration. I feel like you're holding on to an ex or to an old situation for some kind of stability. You're holding on to them to stay stable or to stabilize your life in some way. I don't feel like that ultimately that's going to be the right thing. Don't choose someone for stability or to be rescued. You're going to need to let go of being rescued. So if you're like waiting for someone to bail you out for like loans or debts or something like that, it's kind of not it's not going to be long term. If it does, let's say that does come in, that you're able to, pay off a lot of debts and everything like that, they could just come right back. Like, it doesn't feel like that's the reason to hang on to this ex, or this old relationship does need to close out. It does need to end. It does need to be completely cut. This Queen of Swords is here, Gemini energy, really needing to put an end to this, okay? Because there's something about draining your own resources. I don't know, draining your own resources, or you're holding on because someone else is going to rescue you. No, that's not the way forward. Because the Ace of Wands is here. So Death card, 9 of Cups, 8 of Swords, and the Moon. So we have a full moon eclipse coming up on the 3rd of March in the sign of Virgo. All right, in the sign of Virgo. And Aquarius, that is, let's see. That makes me feel like is a little bit ish for you. That's not really helpful, but it's 150 degrees away. And what that means is this requires you to make changes to your plan. That it's not going to flush something totally out of your life, but how you're planning on what resources are coming in, you may need to make some adjustments. It's not sustainable long term. It's not sustainable. It could be like a rush of money that just like washes right through you. It can be some kind of opportunity that you think is going to save you, but really what will save you is that you need to put in time and effort. You need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in a business. You need to do something that's going to build for you. You can't expect somebody else to do it. And I think so much of the work of Aquarius, or so much of the energy of Aquarius right now, is that we're moving towards completely reinventing ourselves. And I think that's what's happening here with this, the Death card and the Nine of Cups. Like, you're needing to completely reinvent yourself. And well, let's extract the word completely, because if we're talking about 150 degrees away from this eclipse, that is incremental change. The change that needs to be made is the idea that you have that this is going to be like a one and done. This is going to save my ass. This is going to be the right thing. And actually, no, you're going to need to make incremental changes. It's like little change, little change, little change. And it's annoying because it's not just one fell swoop. It's not just one thing. It's sort of like, you sign on with a new company and they make a big deal about a signing bonus and all this kind of stuff. And once you sign on to this company, you realize that they're going to give it to you in 52-week installments over the course of a year or 2 years. That's not the same as getting a big fat check, is it? Okay. So it's going to force you to make incremental changes to what you're doing. And if you're not relying on something coming from another person, then you're not going to have to worry about this. If you are making changes and you're making new plans for your life, then you're following this Ace of Wands. You're being inspired by something, and you're not ever going to need to lean back on someone to rescue you. That's not sustainable. It's not the way forward. It's not going to stick around. Okay, so look for this Virgo moon to shine a light on what the incremental changes are that you might need to make. And even if you do that, you change your mindset moving into this Virgo eclipse, I think you could be in better shape than just thinking that you're going to get some one and done deal. Okay? All right. So for everybody watching, let's see. Lucky. Ta-da! All right, let's see where we're going with this. Very sleepy dogs. All right. Nine of Cups. Lots of Nine of Cups showing up in these readings today. Nine of Cups, the World, Magician, Manifest Your World, Queen of Wands. Wow, this is a very creative. That's Mercury, and Mercury is ruling the Virgo eclipse. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and so you're going to see that this has to do with, it's not just about precision, it's about sustainability, long-term sustainability. Is this gonna work for me? Is this going to be like, I'm going to make this big wish, I'm going to make this big ask of the universe, and there's a chance that it comes out in a way that is sustainable, and that's what you want to pay attention to. The King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, King of Cups, and the outcome is the High Priestess. You just really need to be plugged into the universe during this Virgo eclipse, because you're going to get some opportunities to align with a manifestation. So be in alignment with what you want to create. Don't fall into don't fall back into, well, that seems like a big ask. I'm just going to fall back into something that, might be easier for the universe to deliver. Doesn't matter. Big, small, it doesn't matter. The universe sees the ask is the same. So you might as well go for what you want. And I feel like there's some multiple options, multiple opportunities coming in. The boil down piece here is align with what you really, really want and be excited about it. Get jacked up about it. Don't feel bad for having wishes and dreams. Don't pull back, okay? Because 2026 is a bridge year to the age of Aquarius, to the new era, to a new life. Don't, make concessions because you're afraid of getting disappointed. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. I see Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is here. Aries, Leo, Sag. There's Gemini here. There's a lot here. The outcome is the High Priestess, and that is about intuition. Seven of Swords, Justice, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. So, this is, at sixes and sevens kind of a thing. That's interesting. This is really about how you've limited yourself over the course of your life when you're asking, when you're manifesting. You're like, well, I don't know. Maybe I should just ask for like a job that I can, easily get to. Like it's the commute that's bothering me. So just give me one of these same jobs, but just with a better commute. Like that is not what we're talking about. Who are you becoming? Start asking based on that person. Okay. What will that person want? What will that person enjoy? What will be a wonderful kind of experience? How do you want to live your life? Ask for that. All right, you guys, that is it for this week. And we got a lot coming up as March starts. I will be posting the monthly readings. I think I only have 2 left to post. So you'll see them Monday. All right. Thanks very much. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.